Hello, everybody. Hope you are having a fantastic day. We are here for the into the Alpha X Pro Circuit 3 Group Stage 1 or round of 16, and it's going to be the last group. It's going to be Group D out of the 4 groups that we have had, and let's go ahead and looks like we're about to start. But anyhow, before we begin, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am your friendly neighborhood caster dog here, Snoopy, and we were supposed to have a co-caster with me, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's woken up yet. But anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and carry on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the groups, the previous 3 groups, to see where we are at. As you can see, this is group stage number 1. And Group A, we had Innovation and Rogue coming out of that group. And then we had Group B with the Cure and SOS. And then Group C, we had Armani and Parting. So that's some really nice outcome there. I think we had some nice kind of race distribution in terms of Group Stage 2 coming up. Because as you can see, we have, I think, 2 Terrans, 2 Protoss, and 2 Zergs. So we're gonna have some nice racial distribution, and can't wait to get started with Group Stage 2 whenever that happens. Looks like there's not a schedule yet here. And then of course we're gonna go ahead and head into the playoffs, which will be a 2 semifinals, best of 5, and then of course the finals will be a best of 7. Now let's take a look at the prize pool here. Of course, we have a nice little lump of prize pool lined up for our players. Of course, 5th to 8th place will go home with $50. 3rd to 4th place will go home with $150. While 2nd place will go home with $250. And then, of course, 1st place will double that and go home with a whopping $500 minimum. Now, there is a Matcherino page here set up. If you can type into the Twitch chat, exclamation Matcherino, that should bring up the link. Unfortunately, all our codes has been used up. Well, I wouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately, actually, a lot of people has been using up the Matcherino code, but we do have some sponsor quests that can add additional funds to the prize pool, as well as a replay pack that you can purchase, which will give you all the replays from this event, this tournament, and as well as add to the overall prize pool. So pretty dope, I would say. Pretty awesome. All right, so looks like we are waiting for, what are we waiting for? Okay, I guess we were waiting for the other casters to get ready. But anyhow, we did have some follows here, a few follows in the past few minutes. Thank you all for following. We definitely appreciate it. And looks like we're about to get started. Both players are ready. New Noobs View SC2 with another follow. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, we're about to get started. Our first series here. We'll be on Pillars of Gold, LE, the map. But it's going to be between 2 teammates, 1 Zerg and 1 Terran player. Carroton saying, finally you stream on Twitch. I know. Yeah, we used to stream a lot on Twitch. It slowed down a bit, just a tad, because we have been streaming on the our other platform on Trovo. But we still stream on Twitch, so don't worry. We'll still have a lot more events that will be streamed here on Twitch. So let's go ahead and get started here. Yes. Thank you for letting me know. Anyhow, let's go ahead and introduce our players here. On the bottom left corner of the map is the blue Terran player from KaiZ Gaming. It is Time. And spawning here at the top right corner of the map is the red Zerg player, also from KaiZ Gaming. He's the red Zerg. It is Solar. So we have some teammates here duking it out, and it's it's always unfortunate when teammates have to play against one another, because I'm sure both of them would have loved for both of them to advance as far as possible. They probably want both of them, each other, to come out of the group, but unfortunately there's going to be only one winner of the series. One will have to drop down to the losers versus losers match, while the winner will of course go on to play in the winners versus winners match. And looks like we have Solar kind of, I guess, patrolling his overlord around just to scout any proxies. Always want to be safe rather than sorry, right? So we of course see a lot of Zerg players. They will kind of scout to their left side, and then of course the first overlord will scout towards like the right side. This one of course is gonna kind of rally around to the center here. And let's see what these players are going to be up to. Now, the first, interesting enough, oh, actually, no, he didn't make the Reaper here, so it will be making its way across the map. See, oh wow, look at this rally point here. He is like attacking everywhere. Interesting, but he's going to go ahead and dig in here at the natural. We'll get a few pot shots here, but with the micro of Solar, I suspect he won't suffer too many damage. Should be fine. So what Solar did with the first queen here at the natural was plot down the creep tumor, and I think this is going to be really important, especially on this map, because as you can see, the natural and the dirt is quite far away in terms of distance. So he wants to make sure to connect that creep tumor so that his queens can maneuver back and forth rather a bit more quicker, because the queens are off of creeps just walk so slow. Look at that. That is one slow mother queen there. And yeah, connecting that creep is definitely going to be important, because we do see a lot of Terran players. They open up with Hellions, which is exactly what Time is going for. He's opening up with the Hellion opening here, and once the Hellion are harassing the third, you definitely want to pull your queen over there to help defend. Now, of course, Solar is going for the link speed here, as well as Overlord speed. Interesting. Looks like he wants to make sure that he scouts off his opponent, make sure if it's any battlecruiser rush or banshees, and it looks like it's going to be battlecruisers, as we do have a fusion core on the production tab for Time. And as you can see here at the natural, okay, did he scout this? Let me see. Oh, he did not scout this yet. Interesting. He just needs to, oh, he's not committing here, so he will be in the dark, but he, at least I think he did see, yeah, the tech lab on the starport. Now he did scout the tech lab's jiggling there, researching something, but of course it's a fake. There's always that chance that the Terran player is faking that upgrade. But indeed, it is going to be, in fact, battlecruisers going to be out here for Time. Now, in the meantime, he is going to go ahead and try to do some harass here with these Hellions. He's got 6 Hellions on the field with the Reaper. Make sure he can maybe kill some creep tumor, or maybe dive into the natural, get some drone kills. But of course, that's always a risk. You don't know if there's going to be links parked there. Sometimes you would want to maybe scan before you dive in there to see if it's safe. But look at that. Solar already making enough links to help defend against that. But of course, the battlecruiser is about 75% done, 80, 90% done. And I don't think he has yet to scout this. Now, the good thing for Solar is that he's had made enough queens thus far, which will be very, very useful against the battlecruiser. And here we go. The battlecruiser has joined into the fight. But there are 5 queens here out on the map. Hellions going to dive in here at the natural. No, go straight into the main. Oh no, he did not get the surround there. Let all those. Oh my God, no Hellions has died yet. That is insane. There's going to be a lot of barbecue drones here. 6 already going down, and you know what? Actually, not too shabby thus far, considering he let the Hellions run by into the main base. So you know what, 7 drones. I'm sure he didn't want those 7 drones killed, but considering the circumstance, I mean, you can't be too mad about that, right? I mean, it could have been a lot worse, I would say. Spire here coming out for Solar. Now he's gonna have to kind of keep his eyes out to see if there is going to be a second battlecruisers. Sometimes you see Terran players, they make 1 battlecruisers and they stop. They just use that 1 battlecruisers, or maybe even 2, to harass. But then there are some that continuously make those battlecruisers, make that model cannon upgrade, research it, and commit to the battlecruiser tech. And once the Zerg player does scout that, that kind of signals to the Zerg player, yeah, I want to probably make some corruptors. But there are some Zerg players that I've seen gone for Mulus instead. I have not seen consistently it working against battlecruisers. There are some, of course, some games where the Mulus play has turned out to be the right call, but I feel like usually corruptors are the best choice against mass battlecruisers, right? But Solar, he's gonna go ahead and go for the Mutalisk. Meanwhile, he's got to defend against this Marine push here. His Baneling speed is just about finished. Let's see, how many Banelings does he have on the field? He has 0 Banelings. He's gonna go ahead and try to defend with just pure Lings and Mutalisk. Now, Time's got to be careful because these Mutalisks can go ahead and slip on the medevacs. And oh my god, nice transfuse on those Mutalisks. Do you see that? All the queens there transfusing the weakened Mutalisks. No Mutalisks dropping thus far. The battlecruisers unfortunately joins in the wrong time, as now he cannot blink back, and he will lose it as that big starship goes down. And so far, Solar defending really nicely. And remember, this is mainly Lings and Mulas. There was not a lot of Banelings, or I don't think there was even a Baneling in that fight. So to defend without Banelings, that I would say is pretty nice for our Red Zerg player.
We've got incoming.
Oh, thank you for the raid there. That is for our, I guess, a new sponsor. Anyhow, we do see the Mulus making his way across the map, seeing if he can get some damage done. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat a little bit here. We do see the Mulus go ahead and doesn't get too much done, as their turrets are up for the Terran player. Now, with the Mulus out, that pretty much shuts down any kind of drop play from Time. So it's up to him to kind of go for a kind of a bulkier army, a very strong army. Maybe add in some doors or widow mice to kind of deal with those Mutalisks. Although thus far he has enough Marines to defend against the Mutalisks, but once Solar goes for the mass Banelings, those Marines might be preoccupied with the Banelings and Lings instead of focusing on the Mutalisks. So adding in the door or some Widow Mines, I feel like it's going to be a pretty good thing for Time. But looks like he is going to go ahead and go for this kind of 2-2 timing upgrade. And And it might actually be pretty scary as Solar does not have his +2/2 anywhere done yet. Meanwhile, he's trying to go for the counterattack while this tank marine push is commencing. Solar's gonna go ahead and rely on these banelings to kind of buy him some time. But in the meanwhile, 24 SCVs going down for the blue Terran player, all even sniping the command center, their command center. Solar, on the other hand, he's losing his fourth, but he's already made another hatchery here at the left side. But all this supply depot is going down. Ah, man, I feel like time. He's gonna have to make something happen right now, because he has suffered a lot of economic damage. Meanwhile, Solar is just continuously making these banelings to try to buy enough time. And as you can see, because of the links and mulas that force the reinforcement to kind of lag behind. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit, as this is a pretty nice spread here by time. But we do see a nice split here by Solar as well. He is continuously poking in and out with these mulas. He has a nice flock of mulas, trying to possibly go around and catch some reinforcement, or just maybe try to hit on the backside. But this attack is slowly pushing in. Meanwhile, there is another counterattack here by Solar, not giving time any room to mine. And here we go, Solar pushing in with a few of his banelings. Doesn't get quite a lot, but all he needs to do is buy enough time. You know, as he buy more and more time, he can make more and more units. But it looks like he feels comfortable enough to finally dive in here. More banelings morphing in the back. All the tanks are gone, and GG. Solar will take game number 1 of this best of 3 series. I would say that was a pretty great and nice technical play there by Solar, utilizing the mobility of those banelings and mulas with the counterattacks, and then kind of combining it with his main army of banelings, and then just going for the kill. And just well done there by Solar. I wouldn't say, time did a huge blunder anywhere. I would just say, Solar just kind of played a little bit better there. So yeah, we'll see if time can answer back. It's going to be on Everdream LE. And looks like Solar is asking for a 1-minute break. So maybe he's got to go to the bathroom or something. But he should be back pretty soon, and we should get our game 2 started underway. All right, let's go ahead and see what the chat is up to. Looks like we got Bob Digito 82 rooting for Solar there. Oh, we got another raid here, another raid warrior. Thank you guys, we definitely appreciate it. We're inching closer to that 40 raid mark, the warrior mark. So if you guys don't know, I think the Nightbot also has kind of posted some few messages about it. So basically, it's a game. It's called Raid Shadow Legends, and it's free on PC, and you can support Alpha X by downloading it, playing it for a couple of minutes, like 10 minutes or so, or even more. See if you like it, and if you don't, then it's okay. At least you tried it, and yeah, it helps the team, as Bib said in the chat. All right, looks like we're about to get started. Countdown has begun. All right, let's get into it here. Spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, he is the blue Terran player, looking to tie up the series. He is Time. And spawning here at the top right, we have the red Zerg player from the same team of Kaizi Gaming, looking to close out the series. Can he do it? It is Solar. By the way, guys, I would love to see who you guys are rooting for. Type into the Twitch chat. We seen Bob Digital rooting for Solar. Do we have any Time fans? I feel like a lot of people will probably be rooting for Solar a bit. I think he has more of a following, just because he's been playing in Code S, a lot of foreign tournaments as well throughout their whole years. Has a kind of a more complete resume compared to Time. I think Time, because he's mainly in the China region, has not had as many opportunities, but we've seen, of course, moments where Time has had some nice little victories against some really strong players. Looks like we got Nano rooting for Time. He's got $10 on Solar. Well, he is one game away from, of course, winning the series, so not a bad bet here. But yeah, like I said, I think Solar, is more popular, just because of the exposure, the amount of exposure he has gotten. But of course, we'll definitely see if Time has something up his sleeve this time around. Now, he did go for the Battlecruiser opening last game, so I'm interested to see if he does go for the same opening in this game. Now, of course, there isn't a lot of airspace here coming into the left side, but there are some dead airspace in between the natural and main, as well as the natural and the dirt. So if he can teleport his battlecruisers there, he can definitely do some annoying damage. We definitely see kind of a similar opening, at least in the beginning stages compared to last game. So we see the 1-1-1 build here coming out of Time. And actually, you know what? He is not going for the same build. Never mind. He is adding a second barracks, getting a tech lab on the factory. So he's going for tanks here instead. Or maybe a cycle. Actually, he's opening up with a cyclone instead. So let's see what he's up to. He doesn't have a starport yet out. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a kind of a marine, maybe cyclone timing. I mean, it's going to be pretty weird. He's making 3 marines at a time. He's getting Stimpack. Yeah, I think it's going to be a timing attack. I mean, especially since he is yet to throw down that starport. He's got the early tech lab. Okay, he's just going to go ahead and just make a random cyclone. Interesting. So I'm not sure why he would make a random cyclone at this time. I don't think he scouted any aggression coming out. He definitely, I mean, I guess it's always safe to make a cyclone. Cyclone is one of those units where you make it in the early game. It's pretty much safe against a lot of units. Oh, actually, you know what? I see what's happening. He did recognize that Solar did go for the overlord speed last game. He's gone for the same overlord speed this game. So the cyclone is there to help deny scouting. So this is a kind of a nice kind of counter, kind of a adaptation against what his opponent did in the last game. And so now Solar is once again pretty much in the dark. As you can see, he has like 0 vision here at the main base. Once again trying to go in, but unfortunately once again denied here by the cyclone. Alright, looks like the 2 medevacs full of marines will start making its way across the map, but it does get scouted by Solar. gonna go ahead and make 18 links here on the production tab. Definitely doesn't want to fight off of creep. He's like right on the edge of creep. Can he get surround? Oh, just barely gets the lift off, but loses a cyclone as a cyclone. Just takes too much supply there for those medevacs to carry. And a nice little hold there by Solar. Again, relying just mainly links. And these links don't even have +1 melee or carapace. We do see the third command center being plotted down, so this is not quite fully committed. It's not going to be a kind of a 5 racks type of timing or anything like that. It's not going to be like a SCV pull. He is going to go ahead and transition out of this into the mid game with the third command center. But in the meantime, he is going to at least try to make use of these Marines to kind of snipe down the creep tumor, get any damage here and there. Oh, actually going to go ahead and join up with the rest of his army. Now, with these 2 tanks here, this is going to be a bit scarier than the first time around. However, we do see that Solar did a really nice job extending the creep, so it's going to take time, a bit of time, no, I guess pun intended, to go ahead and clean up the creep tumor before committing in with the full-on attack. And kind of this is the advantage, as you can see, of spraying those early creep tumors, right? You really slow down the push so that you can gather up and make enough units to help defend. But oh, here we go. Solar gonna go ahead and dive in here on the tank. Now these are slow banelings, so he definitely doesn't want to roll them out off of creep, because these Marines of time can of course micro and spread and kite. And we of course seen many and plenty of times in the past how time is so deadly with his Marine micro. Basically micro in general, he's a really great micro player. But nice little tactic here, attacking at 2 front, attacking here at the 4th base while attacking at the main base as well. Will he get this hatchery? This will be a nice pick up here. Instead, he is going to focus fire on these banelings, but the banelings will just finish in time. But as you can see, they're really great micro on Time's part to focus fire on those banelings. It is really tough to focus fire on those banelings, especially banelings that are moving in motion. It's really hard. Now, once again, here I'm getting a little worried for Time. Both of his first, and then of course this secondary attack with the 2-prong attack has really not done too much damage. He almost got the hatchery. Maybe if he focused fired on it, he might have gotten it, but he instead decided to choose to focus fire on those banelings, so wasn't able to do too many economic damage. As you can see, the worker count really in favor of Solar, 70 to 57. And let's take a look at the income graph, and you can see all red for the past few minutes. And Solar just keeping up with his creep spread. Time keeps sniping those creep tumors, and then Solar immediately replacing them. I love it. I love what Solar is doing. But Time, he is trying to find an opening with these bio units. I would love him to see kind of attack on the left side and the right side once again, because the distance are so far between bases that it kind of forced Solar to choose to split his units, to spread his army, to see if he can defend on both edge or on both ends. But here we go. Time's gonna go ahead and siege up his liberators here. Not a lot of tanks for Time, and once again getting cleaned up by Solar. These attacks are just not quite finding the damage that he wants. I mean, he is trying. You got to give him credit, but he is not doing quite well in terms of setting up. But you gotta give it to Solar. You gotta give the credit to Solar too, because he's been macroing like a beast. He's been spreading those creep tumor like a pro. Now it's not quite over yet for Time, of course. I mean, he still has a decent amount of army. The army supply is actually surprisingly pretty even. The question is, I think as the upgrade, as you can see, the +2/2 of Solar versus the +1/1 of Time. Like for some time now, it's going to be an upgrade advantage for Solar. And the way Solar is kind of defending these attacks, I mean, Time just can't get an opening, can't find it. And as the game goes on and the creep spread goes further and further, it gets even harder to harass, because of course, you know, all these drop pathings will kind of probably fly across a creep tumor, or not creep tumor, kind of fly across creep, as well as there's a nice overload spread on the dead airspace, right? So Solar has eyes and vision on a lot of the map, and it's going to make it really hard for Time to do any drop harass. So he's going to probably have to really win on terms of the battle front end. Probably make enough tanks, make enough liberators to possibly get a nice, really decent engagement, and hopefully can get himself back into the game here. Alright, as you can see, a lot of upgrades happening here for our Zerg player. Just making sure that he keeps up with it. And of course, continuously macroing up, getting more additional bases. Oh, but here we go. This is not a great little... Okay, oh man, that was pretty scary. I was about to say that all his Marines are clumped up there. The Banelings could have gone top of it, especially with the rocks blocking the pathing of the Marines, but Solar decided to pull back, wait for more Banelings here. Now there are Vipers here out on the map. Gonna go ahead and join those tanks and Liberators. But a lot of Banelings here does fall. There are still 3 tanks here on the back, so nice little engagement here for Time, but he doesn't want to overextend. There are more Banelings here morphing in, 20 more Banelings on the production tab, and we do see Time is trying to push forward, but oh no, the Ultralisk has popped up. That is going to be so good against the Marine Force. They are able to tank up some of the tank shots, and I think Solar is going to go ahead and break this contain here. Gonna go ahead and go for the counterattack. And what does Time has? He only has 3. He has 3 tanks, but not a lot of Marines to buffer for them. And these tanks are gonna go down instantly. Time is microwing and cutting back as best as possible, but there are still a lot of streaming Zerg units across the map. More Banelings, more Ultralisks, and I'm thinking that the Swarm is finally gonna overtake and overwhelm Time here. And unfortunately for Time, a quick 2-0, and Time looking to be really strong going into the winners versus winners match with confidence. So well done there by Solar, showing why he is a Zerg to be feared. Alright, that shall do it for our first series of today. But we do have a second series, and that second series is going to be sick, because it is going to be between Zest and Ragnarok. And definitely don't want to miss that, as both of these players are playing at a really high level these days and recently. So I can't wait to get started on that. But before we get started on our next series and wait for the players to do the map videos and get into the lobby and all, let's go ahead and check out one of our new sponsors in Strive. Strive is a beef jerky company. And to talk to you more about it is Passer, our buddy Passer. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to take a quick look at this little quick and short clip to see what Strive is all about. Don't go anywhere, guys.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled event to bring you our newest sponsor, Strive. Strive beef biltong contains no added sugars, nitrates, or artificial preservatives. It's like jerky without the junk. Their beef snacks are all natural, high protein, and keto friendly. They offer unique flavors like spicy peri peri, zesty garlic, and hatch green chili to satisfy your taste buds. Check out our event page for more information or go to strive.com to learn more about their products. Offered in slabs, slices, and sticks for your snacking needs. Now back to the games.
All right, welcome back, guys. We are going to get started on our next series really quick, as they are doing the map videos. But yeah, Solar looking really dominant in that first series. I'm going to be interested to see how he faced against the winner of this upcoming series, because he looks to be in great shape. All right, let's check what is the chat happening here. I find nice things. I find the nice thing about esports is that you can back and look at previous matches. Easier to pick potential upsets. Huh. Chick Kenny is saying Zest is strong, just that Ragnarok has been in top form lately. Yeah, I gotta say Ragnarok has definitely been playing really well. I believe he recently won a tournament that we just put on. I forgot exactly which one. It was one of our recent events, so I do remember also he played in the recent Korean Pro ESL Pro Tour event against Stats in the finals, and almost barely won that. He lost 2-3 against Stats, and that kind of told me like Ragnarok playing in ESL Pro Tour and reaching the finals against all those Korean players. I mean, he's definitely in great shape. Zest himself, he's been having some nice, great victories, some top finishes as well. Now, of course, Zest on the other hand, he's probably more accomplished career-wise. He is definitely recognized as one of the top 2 Protosses out there, right? I think Ragnarok is kind of more, in terms of the Zerg players, are kind of, it's more of the like kind of the tier 2-ish area. I think in the tier 1 is of course players like Dark or Rogue, maybe Sue as well. But then you get to that tier 2 and you see that players like Ragnarok making his way up the ladder. But yeah, Zest, I feel like has been, at least in the past 6 months or so, has kind of claimed himself as one of the top Protosses out there. Now, it was kind of a iffy because between first place and second place Protoss, it was kind of between Stats and Zest. I think most people feel like that. It was either Zest or Stats. They were kind of vying for the top Protoss in the world, but none of them have really won any major tournaments as of late, so they were kind of still battling. But then with Stats recent run in GSL, I think Stats has kind of slowly overtaken Zest and claimed himself back into the #1 Protoss in the world. But Zest, on the other hand, I mean, it's not it's not too shabby to be like top 2 Protoss in the world, right? So Zest is definitely someone you should never take lightly. Now, of course, kind of Zest emergence has to do a lot with his recent adept plays, I would say, right? And fortunately for Zest, he's just playing a a PVZ here in this upcoming series. So, I mean, he might pull up some adept plays once again. Of course, these adept plays has been really strong, really been in the recent meta as of late. I think Zerg is still finding a kind of solid way to defend against it. I think they're kind of getting there, but not like fully. I still see some Zergs dying to it, unfortunately. But I mean, it's always part of the cycle, right? The Protoss comes up with like these new builds, and it's up to the Zerg players to kind of figure it out. And then once the meta is figured out, the Zerg starts playing against them, or starts winning the majority of games against them. So, and then the Protoss will have to come up with a new build that is strong, and it's kind of like the cycle of PVZ. All right, let's go ahead and update the scoreboard, and let's get into it. All right, here, spawning at the top left corner of the map is the red Protoss player. He's from Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest. And here, spawning at the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player from the team of Alpha X. It is Ragnarok. Little bit of a hatchery block here, and we do see a few Protosses actually doing this as of late. I'm not sure why it's kind of been done or brought back to the meta, but for some reason, I guess, you know what, come to think of it, it's probably because a lot of these maps kind of lends itself to the Protoss sending their probes across the map. Now, of course, in this map, as you can see, we do have the acceleration zones, so that kind of allows the Protoss to send the probe out and get to the opponent's base a bit quicker, and that allows the Protoss to block the hatchery. And I think that's probably why a lot of Protosses has been kind of bringing this back of blocking hatcheries early on. But of course, on bigger maps, you definitely don't want to, you probably don't want to do it, as that would force you to send your probe out even a bit earlier, and that loses, of course, mining time. So I think on smaller maps, or at least maps that has kind of these zones that makes your probe get across the map faster, I think it kind of lends itself to pull off that strategy. But Ragnarok's gonna go ahead and easily take his third base, no problem there. But of course, the drones will have to travel a bit farther away. But in the meantime, what is Zest going for? It looks like he's going for Twilight Cancel. I wonder, Zest going for Twilight Cancel, what is that for, guys? That is $1 million question, isn't it? I mean, it's one of the toughest test answers that I can think of. Yes, Kappa. Alright, come on. Get that glaive of depth, Zest. We know you want to. And there we have it. Glaive once again for Zest. Now, the question is, will he go for 4-gate? Will he go for 5-gate? Will he go for maybe 3-gate? We see a lot of Protosses change it up in terms of the amount of gateway. Now, the more common one is the 4 gates, right? And we do see that Zest has thrown down the 3 additional gateways for those 4 gateways. I see the most common is the 4-gate. But I've seen variation like Australia. I think he went for 5-gate in one of his games. is a bit more committed, of course. But Zest, I think, is more known to go for 4 gate usually. Now, do we see Ragnarok scouting this? Yeah, no vision thus far. He has yet to send in his Overlord, so he is going to be pretty much in the dark. But Zest has pulled off the strategy so often that I think Ragnarok can be wary of this. The thing is, oh, look at this. The creep spread is not quite there yet. I think he's just getting there. I would have loved to see him have it spread a bit earlier. Kind of like how Solar had his creep spread pretty early in the last game. But here we go. Looks like the 4 gateway glaive adept timing has commenced. Glaive upgrade is just about done. And it's going to be up to Ragnarok to see how he can defend against this. He's got a bunch of links here thus far to help defend. But of course, with the strategy, it's kind of mainly had to do with kind of maneuvering. Can the Protoss maneuver around to get the advantage? And will he let this? Oh, he does let this finish. I'm a little bit surprised because he kind of shaded into a bunch of queens, but I guess behind the mineral line, he's gonna lose a minimal amount. But these lings are gonna get on top of these adepts, and so far, these adepts not getting quite the amount of damage that I think he really wants to. Now more adepts are being warped in, so this attack isn't over yet. He still can get additional drones, and yes, he is starting to kind of pile on all those drone kills. Nice spreading of these adepts. A few adepts batch to the third base while the others are in the main base. And 14, oh my god, this is starting to add up here. Now this is what the damage that Zest is looking for. 14 drone kills here, pushing Ragnarok down to 28 workers. 28 against the 45 probes of Zest. And this is why Zest is the master of the adept play. This is why all Zergs fear him. 19 total drones going down. And Ragnarok has been set back into the Stone Age in terms of worker count. Now the one advantage for Ragnarok right now is army supply, but it's not quite a lot. There's only 26 to 17 army supply, and most of them is on roaches. And roaches, we all know, inflate army supply. So you may think, oh yeah, Ragnarok has a slight army supply lead, but it's not quite large. By the time Ragnarok makes its way across the map, more additional warpins would pretty much hold the roaches pretty easily, especially with shield battery. And shield battery overcharge, of course. So Ragnarok, I would say he is in quite a predicament here, and I am not even quite sure what he can do right now, because he doesn't even have a lair tech. He can't even get research road speed to go across the map. There's really no way that Ragnarok can get any counter damage right now. He can't. He's still preoccupied with this war prism. He doesn't have any road speed. His creep tumor is pretty sad right now, and this is pretty much Zest's game to lose at this point, right? There's even DTs. You know, sometimes the saying goes that when you're behind, Dark Shriner. But in Zest's case this time around, went ahead. You know what? Just still add that Dark Shrine. But here we go. Look like Ragnarok, knowing that he cannot play the long game. He cannot play the macro game. After losing all those drones, we'll go ahead and go for one big attack here. But no lair, no overseer, and immediately Ragnarok is going to call GG. And that was pretty much a dominant performance there by Zest. So well played there by Zest. He will go up 1-0 of this best of 3 series. And I'm hoping Solar can give a better showing this time around. Or not Solar, Ragnarok can give a better showing this time around. Because that game was... I mean, you do see a lot of those games when Adept play is out, right? I mean, that's the reason why Adept is so strong right now, is because under the right Protoss, the Protoss that can maneuver these Adepts around and kind of execute it correctly, it just really does a lot of damage, and that game just showed exactly why. I mean, that map, that third base to the second base is so long that you had to make sure you split correctly, and then you also even if you can anticipate that build coming, it really forces the Zerg to cut on drone production and produce a lot of units. So even if that attack fails by the Protons, it already did damage to the Zerg because it forced the Zerg to not drone up as much as they want to. You have to cut off drone production really early in order to have any hopes of defending against that attack. Alright, looks like our next game will take place on Internal Empire LE, which I feel like a lot of players really love. I mean, I certainly love Internal Empire. I think it's one of the popular maps. But, I mean, in general, I think this whole entire season's map pool has been pretty good. So, alright, let's go ahead and update the scoreboard and introduce our lovely players. Here, spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, it is the red Protoss from Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest. And spawning here at the top right, we have our blue Zerg player from Alpha X. It is Ragnarok. And as boy Gowling in the chat did, exclamation B or exclamation bracket does bring up the bracket for you all to see the progress of this tournament. Of course, Group A, B, and C is all done and completed. We are heading underway with this Group D to see who will be the last two players to advance to the group stage number 2. And these players definitely want to, at least, at the very least, advance to group stage number 2, because that's where the prize pool starts. That's where the minimum of $50 can be taken by all players who finish 5th to 8th. So you definitely want to make your way to group stage 2 in order to get some money out of this. But this is quite the solid group. We do have some really strong players here, so all these players have their work cut out for them. Now, meanwhile, we did see a really strong dominant position, or strong dominant power play there by Zest, going for that 4 gateway adept play. The question is, should he do it again? Now, of course, this map is pretty... It lends itself to a pretty nice opening for Zest to do it once again, right? Because look at this distance here. Can you imagine all these adept shading in back and forth? As well as this distance right here. I mean, Zest could really put on the hurt like he did in the last game. And once again, we see it. The Twilight Council. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now it'll be interesting to see if Zest does change up a little bit. Maybe he goes for a surprise DT play, or maybe go for 5 gateways glaive adept timing instead. We shall see. We shall see. In the meantime, Ragnarok pulling the drones off of gas, except 1. So he is going to rely on a lot of droning. Oh no, actually, never mind. Never mind what I said. He is going for a huge Ling attack. He is like, I'm not dying again to this stupid adept play. I am going on the offense. I am going to put on the aggression and shut down your adept play before it gets even started. And what does Zest see? I mean, he has yet to throw down the shoe battery. I don't think he has anticipated this yet. He only poked into the third base, so he hasn't really quite seen this. But warp gate technology is just about done, and he just needs to warp in enough units to hold on and keep blocking off the choke point here. And I think he should be fine, but oh my god, that clutch save on the Stalker with the Warp Prism. That Warp Prism just came out in time to save that Stalker. Woo. I think Zess might hold this, especially with those shield batteries coming up here. Oh man, this is not looking really nice for Ragnarok. And I say this because not only did the aggressive attack failed, but he is facing against the same Glaive Adept build. And what does he have? He only has mainly Speedlings. Remember, he took drones off of gas, so he's not going to have quite enough gas to make enough roaches to defend against this. So as Zess is pushing forward, he's going to mainly have Speedlings against a bunch of Adepts. That is not what you want. You want to have as much roaches to counter the Adepts. And why some of you might be saying, why is that? I mean, because Adepts does additional damage to light units, and these Speedlings are definitely light units. So this is going to be turning to quite an ugly scene in the next minute or so, I would assume. Oh, nice little surround here. Whoa, can he do it? I think he might be able to just barely hold on, maybe. Man, I think this is really well done here by Rangor. He kind of got on top of the army before the secondary warping of Adepts came in, and that allowed him to get the surround on the first batch of army. And now, Ragnarok, are you holding on to this? I think he is. He's got 32 army supply to 23. Now this isn't over yet. These Adepts can still find some nice, decent, juicy drones, but it's going to be up to Ragnarok to spread his army correctly. In the meantime, he's going to go ahead and will he get these Adepts? He just doesn't quite have enough Zerglings to get this around there. But it has been a really nice hold thus far by Ragnarok. He does send a link to scout that there is no third base here. He knows that Zess is pretty committed with this attack. All he has to do now is just create all the amount of army with those larvas. He does not want to make a lot of drones here. Unfortunately, he has 3 on the production tab, but right now he knows that Zess is pretty committed, so you don't want to drone up right now. And oh no, is the turnaround happening once again? Oh boy. Oh man, if you get the War Prism, that would be nice, but oh, he only has 2 Ravagers, not quite enough to get that last hit on that Warp Prism. And oh my goodness, is Zess pulling this back in? I think he might be able to, because right now Ragnarok is kind of scrabbling back and forth, trying to decide if he can hold this, where he should send his roaches at. There are still a lot of depths here at the main base, even on Mordo, to do some nice little firepower damage on those roaches. And look at Ragnarok. Does he have to sacrifice his main? I mean, if he holds this, he should be good. Oh man, he does lose the main base, and it was a lair too. Ragnarok gonna go ahead and try to commit to this, but he's gonna let the majority of these Adepts shape into the natural, getting some additional drone kills. And this is looking quite ugly here for Ragnarok. And Zess, my goodness, how are you so good? How are you so damn good? And that is why all Zergs fear Zess. Oh man. Some quick 2-0s here for our first couple of series. Got some 2-0 for Solar and then 2-0 for Zess, which means that we have Zess versus Solar in our winners versus winners match. And then we of course have Time versus Ragnarok in our losers versus losers match. We shall get that started pretty soon. Can't wait to see that winners versus winners match. Solar versus Zest is gonna be sick. I'm really excited to see if Solar can handle that Glaive Adept build differently compared to Ragnarok, to show how Zergs should hold off that kind of build order, that really strong build order. All right. Let's go ahead and take a moment to take a look at the bracket here. Of course, you guys can take a look at the bracket yourself by typing in !B or !bracket into the Twitch chat. That shall prompt the Nightbot to post the link. But as you can see, Innovation Rogue advancing forward to Group Stage 2, along with Cure and SOS, as well as Armani and Parting. I'm not quite sure yet when Group Stage 2 is gonna happen, but I'm sure as soon as the date and time has been decided, that the Wikipedia page will be updated. But yeah, we getting some of our Group D series concluded. I'm gonna give a guess here. I think Zest is gonna go ahead and advance first place, and then the second place I feel like it's gonna be between Solar or Ragnarok. I'll probably give Solar the slight edge there, but I could definitely see Ragnarok taking out or coming out second. So that is kind of my prediction, my personal prediction here. I think Time is probably the underdog of this group. But you know what, Time has some really nice TVZ, and he is going to play a TVZ in the next series. So, I mean, anything can go, right? I guess we shall see. We shall see. Alright, these players are doing the map vetoes. Actually, this might be a good time to run a commercial break. Let me go ahead and run a commercial break. But while we are on while we do ahead and go on the pre-rolls from Twitch, I want to go ahead and, I mean, you did see earlier to see what Strife is all about. Well, now you can go ahead and take a look and see how purchasing on Strife.com is pretty simple and easy. So let's go ahead and take a little look at this short clip, and then we'll be right back with our next series. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome to Strive.com, where I'm about to show you how you can get started on your Strive Biltong order. To begin, press the Buy Now selection to explore all the different varieties of biltong snacks, ranging from standard packs to biltong sticks, as well as mini sticks. Here I am going to select the original sliced biltong and add it to my cart. When I am done shopping, I just press the checkout button to begin the checkout process. I then enter my shipping information here, select my shipping option, and enter my payment method. If I happen to have a discount code, I enter it here and click apply. Once I am done, I click on the Pay Now button, and after that, I'm all set. I hope this video helped you in starting your next Strive purchase and fulfilling your snacking needs. Now, let's head back to the action. All right, thank you Strive.com or Strive for your support. And we're about to get started on our next series, which will be the winners versus winners match. Of course, immediately following after this is going to be the losers versus losers match. But here we go. First map will be on Everdream LE. And we just saw Zest play on this map. Let's see if Solar can have a different outcome compared to Ragnarok. Oh, looks like... Oh, Fur asking, is this live? Yes, this is live. We are playing live. Bob Digital 84 saying, looks like he really prepared, at least for last round. Yep, definitely looks like it. But looks like one of our other casters wants a 2-minute break. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and put 2 minutes on the timer, and then we'll be right back. So grab your drinks, go to the bathroom, grab your snacks, and we'll be right back in about 2 minutes. All right. All right, welcome back, guys, and we are right into it. Let's go ahead and introduce our players spawning at the bottom right. Actually, you know what? Before I introduce the players, Fur in the chat said, "Oh wait, another raid here. Thank you for the another raid, getting closer and inching closer to that 40." I gotta say, Fur in the Twitch chat saying pizza plus milk. Now, I'm not here to judge, but pizza and milk? I mean, why not pizza and soda or something? I would think Oreos and milk probably is better, right? Cookies and milk, but pizza and milk, interesting. But you know what? I'm not mad. I'm not mad. All right, let's go ahead and it's dinner and breakfast. Nice, nice, nice. You know what? Whenever you can get pizza for breakfast, that's always a win in my book, right? Pizza, pizza for life. Pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's go. Let's live the life. All right, here spawning at the top right here is the red Zerg player for Kaizi Gaming. He is Solar. And spawning at the bottom left, we have the blue Terran, Terran player. It's the blue Protoss player from Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest. Yes, definitely milk is good for the bones. Can't deny that. You know, I have an interesting history with milk. You see, as a little boy, I drank milk a lot. I mean, I ate the cereal with milk. Had no problem with milk. Then, when I went to college, right, I kind of stopped drinking milk. I kind of drank like soda, water, you know, other stuff. So for the longest time, I didn't drink milk. But then, and then all of a sudden, I started drinking milk after college. But for some reason, every time I drank milk, I would get like an upset stomach or something. So I figured like somehow I became lactose intolerant. I have no idea when or why, but apparently I can't drink milk anymore without getting a upset stomach and had to take a dump in the bathroom. When it's like, yeah, I'm not drinking milk anymore. Unfortunately, I can't drink milk anymore. Even the lactose-free milk, right? That I tried that, didn't work, unfortunately. All right, let's focus on the game here. I see some people in the chat saying milk is gross anyway. And then I see some people liking milk, some people not liking milk. All right, let's get back into the game. Meanwhile, we have once again Zest doing that 4-gate adept timing once again. All right, let's see if Zest can hold this off better compared to Ragnarok. So far, he is cutting workers at 41, which is a pretty nice worker point to cut off. That's going to allow Solar to make enough Zerglings. But his Roach one is just finished. He's just started making the roaches. Actually added a nice spine crawl here, which is pretty nicely done. And so far, Zest holding off the attack with flying. Oh, it gets a surround on these adepts. And this is how you defend this adept timing. Solar doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Oh, those adept definitely did not drink their milk. That is right, man. They did not drink their milk. If they had drank their milk, they would have definitely broken Solar. It looks like Solar drank his milk. I mean, who needs skill, right? Just drink milk, go to GM, become a pro, drink more milk, win tournaments, win the WCS Global Finals or the ESL Finals, Global Finals this time around. Win GSL Code S. All you need is milk. Milk is the way. Pancake asking, is this live? Yes, this is live. Both players are here playing it out on the Korean server. Yeah, Zest is just not getting quite the amount of damage he wants done. I mean, he's doing a nice job, at least kind of keeping the creep tumor at bay, but still. Alright, Zest, he's not quite out of the game yet. Again, that adept build does force his Zerg to stop drone production, which means that Zest, getting his Zerg base relatively okay, I guess in nice timing. Does allow him to at least catch back, or not catch back, pull ahead in the work count. And so you see that Zest is slightly ahead in the worker lead. Of course, that's because Solar committed to a lot of army to help defend against that, the Glaive of Death build. So Zest, you could definitely see Zest still able to possibly pull out a win here. Now, of course, there is a big, huge army coming across the map, though, and he has to defend that if he has any chance of winning this game. But can he do it? There's a lot of Immortals, a lot of sentries. Oh man, can he defend here? So far, he's doing a really nice job with these force field, but he's away from any shield batteries. But there are the War Prism to help micro these Immortals back. There's still... Oh, it does lose an Immortal. He's down to 3 Immortals. He definitely want to lose these Immortals. These are his saving grace against these Roaches and Ravagers. The Queens makes his way across the map, trying to transfuse and possibly focus fire on that War Prism. The War Prism gets taken down by these Queens. But a lot of the Roaches and Ravagers has been taken down already. A lot of Lings streaming across the map, but there are no Immortals. I'm wondering if he should have continued attacking with these Lings, but Solar is thinking, no, probably not. He still has a great significant army supply lead, 30 in fact, but he is committed a lot of economy to his army instead. So you can see he is still below in terms of the worker lead, 55 to the 58 of Zest. So if Solar does not get any more damage done, it might, as the game progresses, Zest is gonna, as you can see from the income graph, it's like teetering between the two. But as the game goes on, Zest is gonna get further ahead. But looks like Solar is gonna go ahead and take advantage of his army supply lead and get on top of this dirt base. Oh, shield battery overcharge does get used on that can. Oh no, the cannon is unpowered. It can't even shoot. Oh boy, that is tough. Nice little flank here on these Zerg army, but there are no more shield batteries here left in the dirt base, as all of them has been depowered. No pylons there. Zest is gonna have to rely on his nice blink micro to help clean this up, and he does. Oh no, I'm not sure if Solar. I'm not sure if Solar should have GG'd out there, but I guess he was still stuck on 3 bases, right? 3 bases against the 3 bases of Zest. I can see why he would GG out. I mean, I still think he could have played out, but I think it would have been a uphill battle at that point. So. Oh wait, he had a 4th even though it was late. Okay, yeah, so it was late. It wasn't saturated yet. Yeah, I think he should have still stayed there. I mean, he wasn't really behind in the worker, right? I mean, it was still in favor of Zest, but I mean, I'm sure he could have played it out and possibly given himself a chance to win. But you know what? I think Solar kind of thought, I committed so much to it. I cut a lot of drone production. I even walked my Queens across the map. The tech didn't really kill his dirt base of Zest. So I guess his mindset was, I'm probably way behind to catch back up. He's gonna go ahead and GG. Okay, oh, someone says he was losing drone to a counter and he lost all the Ravagers. Oh, okay. I didn't catch the harassing across the map. I was focused on the main battle. Sorry about that. Hopefully I can catch. I don't miss any harassing the next time around. But yeah, I was not aware there was a counter. Sorry. All right, let's go ahead and anyhow, let's get started here on game number 2. Now, let me go ahead and update the scoreboard first. There we go. All right, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready for game number 2? Here, spawning at the top right corner of the map, it is the red Zerg player from Kaizi Gaming. It is Solar. And spawning here at the bottom left corner of the map. Up 1-0. Looking to win this game, win the series, and head into group stage number 2 as the first place winner of this group. Can he do it? It is Zest. Alright, so guys, I just realized that Zest has done the 4-gate Glaive Adept build all 3 games. He did the first 2 games against Ragnarok, and then he's did that same build the last game. Guys, I want you to tell me what do you think he's gonna go for this 4th game, his 4th overall game. Of course, this is the 2nd game of the series. Do you think it's gonna be the same 4 gateway Adept build? It has worked out 3 times in a row. I would imagine I would imagine if it ain't broke, you don't fix it, right? I mean, come on. Oh my god. What in the world? We have a huge sub gift. Necron 99 gifting 5 subs. Thank you so much for all the sub gifts. We at Alpha X definitely appreciate it. Supporting the channel, giving all these sub gifts, and all these emotes, unlocking all these emotes for our lovely players and viewers. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right. Twilight Council once again coming out of Zest. I can't imagine it's going to be for anything else, right? I mean, this map is pretty good for it. I don't see any weakness to the Glaive Adept build on this map. And, I mean, it's been working out pretty well for him. Even in games where he hasn't really... I mean, look at the last game. Last game, though, that Glaive Adept build was crushed by Solar. I mean, he handled that just perfectly. He didn't lose a lot of drones. I don't think he barely lost any drones. And yet he still lost the game, right? In the end. So, I mean, it's hard not to do it once again. Oh, actually, he's changing it up this time. He's actually adding in a Dark Shrine. Alright, Zest changing it up. Interesting. Now, the question is, will Solar scout this? He does got some nice kind of link patrols to spot the Warp Prism, but he has yet to scout out the Dark Shrine. And I think he will scout it in a few seconds. Oh, he does not. Okay, there he goes. He goes back right back in, and he will scout the Dark Shrine. Oh my god, he turns back once again. Oh my god, he does not scout the Dark Shrine, but he did scout that there is no jiggling Twilight Council, so he should, I mean, I think he should have a clue that, yeah, he's throwing those Spore Callers out in the bases already. He's already got one in the main, throwing down in the natural, throwing down in the dirt base. When you see the Twilight Council and is not researching, you can pretty much conclude that it's Dark Shrine. So far he is doing a nice anticipation of these Dark Templars, and yeah, does not suffer. Loses the Queen, but doesn't really loses that much anything else, right? So I mean, overall a plus win for our Red Zerg player, especially since he's mainly relying on Spore Caller. So if one of the Spore Callers goes down, he has no way of making an Overseer. So the fact that he can defend against this pretty well this time. Oh, he doesn't have any units here on the dirt base. That's, oh man, that is not gonna be good. He is focused here on the, oh, he does lose the Warp Prism. That's a little small win there for Solar, but Solar is gonna lose the Spore Caller. He's gonna have to move one of his Spore Callers from his natural to the dirt base. He might actually possibly lose this dirt base. this third hatchery. Oh my god, Zest just barely. Oh, he's leaving one Dark Templar behind. Poor Dark Templar was not recalled in time, or not recalled in the radius circle of recall. I mean, recall used to have a large radius, but they changed it so it had a much smaller radius. So you got to be careful to recall your army correctly. You don't want to lose a Dark Templar behind, or else that Dark Templar will come back and haunt you in your dreams. It'll come back as the ghost of Christmas past. Doesn't it look like a ghost of Christmas past though? Come on. I mean, it's like invisible. Those are kind of invisible, right? I mean, unless it shows itself. Anyhow, you do some see some ling attack here on the third base of Zest. Doesn't really lose too much. Loses 2 probes. All right, so looks like both players are kind of transitioning into the mid game. Zest, interesting. He looked like he's going to go for a small attack here. I think he's lining up with his charge upgrade. Yeah, his charge upgrade is about to be finished. So if he can kind of line that up nicely, he might possibly be able to take down this third base. But there is a huge counterattack here on to the third base of the Protoss. Gonna go ahead and rely on shield battery overcharge to prolong the damage there. But the real attack is here at this third base of the Zerg. And oh, Corrosive Bow takes down the War Prism along with the Queens. So no more reinforcement for our Protoss. He's gonna have to warp on his side of the map and rally them across, if he decides to rally them. I don't think at this point he should, because his main attacking army here at the front has gone down. So but Solar, yeah, he cleans it up, and he will keep his hopes alive and tie up the series 1-1. So as you can see, Zest deciding not to go for that 4 gateway glaive depth timing. Decided to change it up to DTs. Did not work out. So I think he should probably go for the same build next game, right? You know what? I did like, I mean, even though Zest lost, I did like his decision to go for the Dark Shrine. I did like his decision to change it up, not go for the same build 4 times in a row. QW45678 saying Solar played very well, and I agree. Solar did definitely play really well. He prepared against the DTs in time, did not suffer a lot of economic damage from it, and even though he lost his Spore Color at the third, he quickly transferred the Spore in his natural to his third, and didn't lose the hatch, and was able to defend pretty nicely. So I mean, well defended there by Solar. Tupac Hologram saying, just need to not lose War Prism every time. And yeah, I think during that DT harass, the DT Archon harass, he lost the War Prism. So that they kind of discontinued the harassment options for Zest at that point. I think he definitely doesn't want to lose his War Prism, because while he's taking his third base, you wanna while Zest is taking his third base, you wanna keep up the harass and keep the Zerg preoccupied, as well as keep the creep tumor at bay. Usually you'll see the Protoss make an observer along with that War Prism, and the reason is to help. Even if the DTs don't do anything, they want to at least use the Archons or DTs to snipe off the creep tumor and keep the creep recessed. All right, here spawning at the bottom right corner of the map, the right side is the blue Protoss player from Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest. And spawning here at the left side is the red Zerg player from KaiZ Gaming. It is Solar. And as you can see, that Zest immediately pulling the probes, or the probe, to mine off the minerals on the backside. So one of the interesting about this map, of course, on Golden Wall LE, is that there is a backside base that you can take. Of course, you can take the natural, but if you want to, you can take the backside. Now, the backside allows you to be safe in the really early game because, you know, the Zerg will have to mine here in order to have access, or they mine their own mineral backside to have access to the Protoss natural here. But as the game goes on, usually, you know, the Zerg will have access here. But of course, you know, on the Protoss side, you can have a stress-free early game, knowing that you're not probably gonna die to anything, to earn any early shenanigans. Because the one thing about this natural here is that if there is a big aggressive push up the ramp, you have to wall off. It's quite hard because there's not quite enough space here, and it's a little bit difficult to fully wall off. But he doesn't have to worry about that during this game. But also, one of the advantages of opening up the backside is that you can proxy, and it looks like Stargate, a proxy Stargate, will be Zest's choice. And you know what? I like this because, you know, usually Zerg will send their first Overlord to the natural, and they won't really send their second Overlord here. They usually send it maybe to the top area around here, as you can see, or they just send it kind of toward the same pathway, but not right across the Stargate. But here we go. Looks like the first Orko will come in. Solar with the quick Spore Caller and suffers very minimal damage. Only 2 drones. So nicely done there by Solar, considering how close this proxy Stargate is. But the most important thing is that Zest did save that Orko, so he can still do some harass later in the game, especially joining up with the second Orko as well. In the meantime, Solar is just going to go ahead and drone up. As you can see, just mainly drones in the production tab. One of the things about weaknesses about Stargate is that the Zerg can pretty much drone up as much as they want without fearing any big attack coming anytime soon. Because although Stargate openings are pretty good, they're not, you know, they're not like bulky. They're more harassment type options instead of just outright killing your opponent, right? It's not like the Glaive build or the Immortal Mass Sentry, Mass Gateway builds where it could just outright kill you. Stargate, not really. Stargate opening, not really a type of opening that just outright kills your opponent, unless you are unprepared for the Orko and you lose like 7-8 drones in the beginning or something like that. Then that could be quite damaging. But outright kill you, no, they're not gonna snowball and overwhelm the Zerg army. In the meantime, we do see these 3 Orkos trying to get as much damage. Still not quite the amount of drones that I think Zest would want from making all these 3 Orkos. But again, the 3 Orkos still survives, so that's the most important thing. Looks like Solar has yet to scout the Stargate opening, but you will scout this interesting base here. You do not quite see this every day. The Protoss expanding all the way here. This is quite the open area for the for the Zerg army to get a nice surround. But oh, making 4 Orgos. Zess is quite committed to these Orgos. But you know what? Zess, I think, made the right call, because what the Solar really has against this? I mean, yeah, he has queens, but they're not really gonna kill them outright. Maybe if he made Hydralisk, or maybe even Mutalisk, he has a way to kill them. But I mean, these Orcos, I think, should be staying alive for quite some time. And as the game goes on, they're gonna ramp up enough energy to throw down a bunch of stasis wards, revelations, maybe some use the pulsar beams to kill additional drones, which look like he's trying to do right now, but just not quite getting any drone kills with these. Oh, nice pull there, just in time. That was a bit close for comfort. Oh, this stasis ward gets something. Someone in the chat saying, maybe it's my Silver League talking, but man, Orgos seems like a waste of everything. You know what? I feel ya, man. I feel ya. As a Protest player, sometimes Orgos can feel like useless. I mean, I think 2 or 3 is good. I think once you get above that, it could get you're not gonna get as much value from it. But they could definitely be helpful, especially since the Orco did get a nice little change there with their Revelation. Their Revelation, it costs less energy, so the purpose of it is to help against creep tumors. So it costs less energy. I mean, it lasts a little bit shorter, of course, but it costs less energy. You can keep revelating over and over, keep the creep tumor slow down and low, but in the meantime, we do see Solar trying to get this Nidus Worm, Swarm Host playing coming out of Solar. And you know what? This is a really great map for it, actually, come to think of it. Now the question is, can he get these Niduses up? Once the Nidus is up, I think it gets much better for Solar. But Zess is doing a really nice job keeping on top of this. Oh my god, killing this Nidus once again. You can't make use of these swarm hosts because this Nidus just keeps dying. Oh my god, look at the vision that Zess is spreading. Just so good by Zess. I mean, we've seen many a times that Protest has so many trouble against this Nidus swarm host play. But Zess just showing how it is done, making sure he has vision all over the place, killing these Nidus worms. And now he is going for the nice counterattack. And what the Solar has, he's gonna have to...
Game paused.
Oh, a little bit of a pause there. Let's go ahead and take a look. A nice Zealot counterattack here. Or not counterattack, but a nice little double prong attack by Zess. So he's pulling Solar kind of south and north. And he's gonna have to pull his swarm host out of the Nidus to help defend against this. Actually, you know, he might not need to. He's so much roaches and ravagers on the ground. Not a lot of immortals, but the majority of the damage here is from these charge lat at this north base. Can he snipe off this hatchery? I think he might be able to. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and retreat. And just focus on this gold base here. There's really nothing that Solar can do to defend against this. He's gonna have to lose it and give it up. But Nidus Worm dropping here at the dirt base of the Protoss. Once again, Zess is on top of it. Will kill the Nidus Worm. Oh no! I don't think Solar was paying attention. That was not the right call. He's gonna lose a couple of swarm hosts for this, unfortunately. and the attack here at the north base is still commencing. He should have enough roaches and ravagers to clean this up, especially since there's only blink stalkers left. But there is a huge Protoss ball coming here to join up War Prism as well for additional weapons. Stalker's gonna get in top and blink on top of these roaches and ravagers, and there are just so many action and attacks, and Solar just can't handle it, and Zest will take game number 3 here and advance to the group stage number 2. Now, it's not over yet for Solar. Solar, he did win his first series, which means that even though he lost here, he still has a chance to make it out of the group, but he will have to win and face against the winner of our upcoming series in the losers versus losers match between Time and Ragnarok. But as Tupac Hologram says in the Twitch chat, looks like Zest can win without adepts. Yes, he definitely can, and he just showed it. And it was really impressive how he was just pulling Solar apart, but even more impressive how he just shut down the Nidus Worm play. It is quite difficult to cover so much area and detect the Nidus Worm. And Zest with those Oracles, because remember, he made 4 Oracles, and one of the advantages of Oracles is that they are nice kind of spotters for those Nidus Worm. You can just kind of patrol them around the edges of your base, and you can use the pulsar beam to snipe them down as well. So yeah, Zest doing a really great job shutting that down, and he's earned his way to the round of 8. All right, looks like we're gonna go ahead and get started here with our next series. But before that, we're gonna go ahead and take a 2-minute break, and also run a quick ad. And yeah, hopefully by the time both players will be ready to go. So guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these 2-minute break. All right, we are back, guys. We're about to get started on our upcoming losers versus losers match to determine who will be eliminated from this tournament and who will keep their hopes alive to face against Solar in the last upcoming series. But guys, thank you. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys are enjoying the content that we at ITaX are putting on, give us a follow. Give us a follow and get notified for whenever we are live. Also, if you guys see the kind of the bottom right. Oh, thank you, Nick Attack, for the follow. Appreciate it. Here at the bottom right, you can see the kind of a counter here, 35 out of 40. Exclamation Raid Warrior. If you guys don't know what that is, you can type in exclamation Raid. Basically, it's a kind of a little game. If you download it and play like, I think like 8 to 10 minutes or more, that'll definitely help us out at ITaX. That's one of our kind of our new sponsor, or one of the sponsors for this event. Yeah, if you want to check out their game, just head on over there. There's a link below, I guess below the player area, in the I guess the panels. You can click on that. That should kind of direct you as well. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. I saw our caster Kozen last night or yesterday play a bit of it, and it does look quite fun. So if you like it, that you can add it to your list of games. Of course, besides StarCraft. I mean, StarCraft is the game of games, right? You don't want to stop playing StarCraft, but always great to kind of take a break from StarCraft, play other games, so that you don't get burnt out or you don't play the same thing over and over again. All right, so Time versus Ragnarok. I feel like, this is tough to predict here, because I feel like they're kind of similar skill level, but I feel like Ragnarok has been playing a bit better as of late. I mean, I've seen him get some nice results as of recent, so I would say I'm gonna give the edge to Ragnarok. I'm just gonna call it. Now, whether it's a 2-0 or a 2-1, that is the question. You know what? I'm just gonna say 2-0 in favor of Ragnarok. That's gonna be my prediction. Let's see if that prediction comes true, but I guess we'll see. Path average predicting Time is gonna win this. You're calling it right now. All right. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be surprised. It's not gonna be like a Cero losing to I don't know, to Nina or something. I don't know. I don't. It's not gonna be like that. I don't feel. If Nina won against Cero, like I think everyone would probably be surprised. I'm not saying that Nina is a bad player, but I think Cero. But I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Time does beat Ragnarok. But looks like we do have some Time fans. Some people predicting Time will take the victory here. Well, the first map will be on Everdream, so we shall see. Got the players in the lobby. Time took out Dark and Omni League. Oh, wow. Also took out Ragnarok too. Okay, looks like we have some momentum here from Time. I don't usually watch Omni League, so, or is that how you pronounce it? Omni League. That's what I think it is. I don't usually like to, or I don't usually watch it, so I'm not aware of the games that are played there. But good to know. Good to know. All right, let's get started, guys. Let's see who is gonna keep their hopes alive and who is gonna get eliminated from this tournament here at the top right corner of the map, wearing the red trunks, from Korea and hailing from Team Alpha X. Let's go ahead and get the dramatic intro here. The dramatic shake. It is Ragnarok. And here, spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, is the blue Terran player, also hailing from Korea, representing Team Kaizi Gaming. It is time. I am sorry if I gave you motion sickness, but it's always good to give the dramatic intro there, the dramatic shake. Oh, right. Sorry. I just remembered. Yeah, time is Chinese. Sorry, he is not from Korea. Thank you for reminding me. He is from China. Apologies right there. Just slipped my mind. Asian Kappa. I know, right? Yeah, they're both Asian. Yeah, they're all the same. They all look alike. All right, so Everdream TVZ. Now, we did see, of course, Time playing a TVZ in his first series of the game of this Group D. Ragnarok, on the other hand, he's faced against a Protoss. So Time already is warmed up in his TVZ game here. I would imagine that he is more primed and ready to go to play against Zerg, but I mean, Ragnarok, I'm sure, is pro enough to prepare for any matchup. Team LT Admiral, all look alike. Ouch. You know what? As an Asian, you know, we had that saying before, or someone has told us before, you know, all Asians look alike. We've heard it before, that phrase. I mean, of course, we know we know not all Asians do look alike, but I mean, you know what I mean. Best to say is we're all the same because we're all gamers, right? You know what? Us StarCraft gamers all look alike because we look like 2D or 3D animation in a virtual game. Or we wear the same portrait, I guess. I don't know. Oh man, this is like slowly getting into like bad territory. Anyhow, let's go ahead and just take a look at what these players are going for. 1-1-1 build here coming out of Time. Now remember, the first time around he did go for the Battlecruiser opening. This time around opening with the Banshees, but interestingly enough, he did not get Cloak. So he's going for a cloakless Banshee, just to force out some Spore Calls probably, or at least help with the Hellion push. Ragnarok, on the other hand, he's just mainly relying on Ling, and he's getting his Baneling Nest. So just gonna rely on early units for the time being. But Banshee is going to go ahead and pop in here. Won't get much done, especially with these Spore Caller and Queen. And as you can see, knowing that he's defended pretty easily, he's just going to go madman on the drone. Just click the D button. Make all the drones get ahead. He's already well ahead in terms of the worker count. 57 to 42. Oh my god, losing that Banshee for absolutely nothing. Things just going Ragnarok's way, left and right. I mean, at this point, I feel like Ragnarok is pretty much his game to dictate, right? I mean, he's thrown up considerably ahead compared to his Terran counterpart. So, I mean, he can pretty much start researching all the upgrades, making all the units. It looks like he's going to drop down a Spire, early Spire. I mean, considering he's on Ling Baneling tech, Spire is probably the common way to go, unless you want to drop down a Hydralisk and Lurker. Then we've seen, of course, Raynor recently talk about how strong Lurkers are, but Ragnarok, I feel like he's more comfortable with his Ling Baneling Mutalisk control. Oh, we do see a little bit of a counterattack. I'm gonna go ahead and run by the army here. This is quite the awkward, interesting timing. He only has one tank. No medevacs with this Marine push. Very peculiar push. Looks like the rest of the reinforcement are joining in soon, but the Ling counterattack still getting a bunch of SCVs. That's going to pull back the Hellions, I think. Oh no, actually he's going to commit to this attack and join the Hellions in here. Baneling speed is just finished. He just finished in time. That's going to be really helpful in cleaning this up. There's not a lot of Marines here for the Banelings to connect with, but still always great to have Baneling speed to connect with those Marines. Now the thing is that the creep has not spread quite yet, so he's gonna have to be careful. He's gonna get a nice little flank sandwich here. He does get the semi flank. Some of the Marines does escape, but he does clean up the rest of the ground force. Cleans up the tank as well. And you know what? I wouldn't mind him just throwing down another counter Ling attack while this is commencing. He knows that there are not a lot of tanks here, so I think he could just buy some time with those Banelings and just use the Lings to get damage on the dirt base. But instead, he's just going to go ahead and keep them at home, keep them at bay, make sure that he is safe against this. And all these Mutalisks has started popping out. He has really committed a lot to these Mutalisks. Let's see. Okay, no, actually decent amount. 9 Mutalisks, not too shabby. And now he's going to go ahead and go for the counter. Oh, he just get that connection on that clump of Marines, as well as a snipe on the only tank left over. And Ragnarok pulling out some nice defense and a counter push as well. At the same time, he did establish a 4th base while that was happening. And you know what? He's grabbing an early 5th base before this is even saturated. And I like it. You know why? Because he knows that he's got time on the back foot. He knows that time cannot really do a scary attack, because he just decreased the tank number down to 0. Now time is try to remake those tanks. And so right now Ragnarok can just pretty much harass time with these Mutalisks, and while he's getting his 5th base, while he's droning up some more. Although actually, you know what, he probably don't need to drone up as much because he's already at 80 workers or so. Alright. Looks like Ragnarok is sticking with a decent amount of Mutalisks, but making a bit more on the ground, as a lot of the army of time is a Marine. So if he can make a lot of Lings and Banelings and just get some good connections, he should be good. Oh my god, look at this. Open space, prime to get surrounded by the Zerg. Oh, nice surround here though by time. Does get some good damage on these Mulists, but the majority of these Mulists are gonna escape and slither away, and we'll be able to go ahead and retreat and regenerate their health. But in the meantime, we do see some additional Lings and Banelings. Oh my god, these tanks are on siege. Oh my god. Oh no. Now there are only mainly Marines left over, and these Banelings are just gonna clean house. Some nice spread here though by time, but there are just so much Lings left over on the ground, and I cannot see this fourth base going up. He's probably gonna have to abandon this fourth base. This fourth base is gonna get taken down by these Mulists, and time is gonna be dropping down all the way to 113 supply against the 173 overall supply of Ragnarok, and Ragnarok is just look unstoppable that game. Oh my goodness, he is just, that was just as clean of a game as you could ask for. That was pretty much textbook play there by Ragnarok, just defending really nicely against the Hellion and Banshee in the early game, not suffering any damage, economic damage, getting that fourth and fifth base really early, knowing that time wasn't able to counterattack or do any significant damage. Yeah, just overall nicely done there by Ragnarok. Now I do have to preface this by saying that time is playing in China and Ragnarok is playing in Korea, and we are playing in the Korean server. So I wonder if time is suffering any ping, but I don't think she should be suffering any large ping, because I think China and Korea, the distances are not as far, so I don't think it's not too bad. So I would expect that it's not too much of a factor. I think Ragnarok just played overall really well that game. But this time we are heading into Golden Wall for our second game. Now the Golden Wall is a kind of like a, I feel like it's like a map, an X Factor map. Like a lot of weird things can happen on this map, especially since this map has a gold base, a really weird layout, and it could lead to some really interesting decisions. But we shall see. Here we go. It is the red Zerg spawning at the right side of the map, up 1-0, looking to clean, or to have a clean sweep here and advance to the next series. Can he do it? It is Ragnarok. And spawning here at the left side of the map is the blue Terran player from Kaizi Gaming. Hailing from China, it is time. Let's see here. Someone in the chat saying, Latte Less saying, I used to live in Shanghai. Trying to play on Korea was hell. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I mean, I feel like, I mean, it's not as bad as, let's say, Korea and like Europe, right? So, I mean, compared to the other regions, like I know that United States west side is trying to connect to Korea is like, it's like a lot of pings. So I'm just saying, relatively compared to the other servers, I think Korea and China are more closer together. But based on your experience, okay, so he says it's not the distance, it's the censorship filters. Oh, okay. I could understand that. . Taylor saying some days you can't connect at all. Ooh, that is tough. I feel for you, man. I mean, I feel sorry for like especially those in playing in the Australian server as well. Like, first of all, there's not a lot of players there compared to like Europe or Korea or United States. And then of course they usually play on like, I mean, competitive players there would play in other regions most of the time. Like I know Pig, who's from Australia, plays on the United States server a lot of times because I guess he just can't find enough players. The waiting time is longer there. So I mean, but he suffers from a lot of ping because he's from Australia, as well as his opponent, of course. But it's pretty impressive to play with so much ping and still be so good at the game. Someone asking in the channel or in the Twitch chat saying, are all these players part of Alpha X? I wish. I mean, I wish Zest was part of Alpha X, but no. Only Ragnarok is part of Alpha X. Time is from Kaizi Gaming as well as Solar. Raise Your Edge Gaming is the team of Zest. So no, this tournament is filled with plenty of players from different teams. So a nice variety. Oh wow, we are having another nice play here on this map. Of course, we saw Solar versus Zest try to utilize the Nidus Worm play. I think this time around it's going to be a lot easier. There's no oracles or any spotters for time. Oh wow, he does at least have his Marines parked there, so immediately pulling the SCVs as well as Hellion. This gets shut down easily, and this is significant. Once you shut down the kind of the first Nidus Worm or two, it gets significantly harder for the Zerg player to get the Nidus Worm up once again, assuming that the opponent is on top of it. He starts spreading his armies, searching for it, and as you can see, immediately shuts that down. Oh wow, he actually, Ragnarok is going to commit to it, and he just barely got the transfuse off. We'll be able to keep that Nidus Worm alive. Oh wow, he got another one. Oh man, nice distraction. But there are a lot of Liberators here. Oh, nice grenade there, spreading the creep, or not the creep, spreading the queens out. And Time is holding this off relatively well. I mean, 4 SCVs gone down. I think he is way satisfied with that, especially since Ragnarok is stuck on 2 bases. And Time will take the 1 game lead. And Ragnarok is 1 game away from losing. And I think, yeah, he's gonna be eliminated from this tournament if he doesn't win this next game. So his back is against the wall. You gotta, if there was a game to win, it's gotta be this next game. Of course, whoever wins this series will face Solar in our Ace series to determine who will be coming out of the group, the last player coming out of the group at 2nd place. Mate Mazzola saying Nidus too good still. Yeah, I mean, Nidus, if you can make the Nidus pop out without getting sniped that first time around, I feel like if that first Nidus did not go down for Ragnarok, I think he would have made significant damage on Time, because at that time he mainly only had like 3 Marines and a couple of Hellions. His Liberators were not out yet, so I think he would have definitely gotten some nice kills with those roaches. But again, once you shut that down against a pro player, once the Nidus Worm surprise gets revealed and you shut it down, it's kind of hard to get that Nidus Worm play back up and running. I've seen plenty of players try that on someone like, let's say, Innovation, and Innovation usually just shuts that down as soon as the first Night Swarm is not successful. So, all right, let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. 1-0 for time. All right, here spawning in the red trunks, representing Team Alpha X, looking to type the series. It is Ragnarok. And spawning here at the top right, it is the blue Terran player, representing Kai Z Gaming. One game away from winning the series. It is time. Oh, sorry. Thank you for the reminder, Sushi. 1-1 scoreline. Ragnarok, of course, winning on Everdream. And then Time winning on Golden Wall. So, thank you for the reminder. Sorry. Temporarily forgot about the score. But yeah, looks like we have our last game of the series before we head into the next series against Solar, whoever wins this match. Now, it looks like both players are playing it safe. There's no proxy coming out of Time. He's going to go ahead and try to rely on his overall skills, not rely on any cheesy play. And Ragnarok also similar. Now, Ragnarok, I feel like overall is not a cheesy player. He usually plays more of a macro game. I think Time, on the other hand, he is privy to pulling out some cheeses here and there. But it's definitely very capable of playing the macro game as well. But we've seen, I think, a lot of proxy barracks play coming out of Time as well in the past. So definitely a possibility. But this time around, has not decided to do any proxies. Instead, electing to go for the Reaper opening. Go for the same 1-1-1 build. Now, we did see Time in the past tonight. Oh, actually, hold that thought. Just barely getting that drone. But Ragnarok will have that dirt planted. But as I was saying, Time has pulled out the Battlecruiser build once today. But also, in the first game against Ragnarok, has also pulled out the Banshee build. So we've seen Time pulling out some variety of builds here, and it looks like he is going for the Hellion opening once again. Of course, very common. The question is, once he makes a starport, will he throw down a fusion core, or will he go for Banshees and maybe possibly with or without cloak? Now, with this Marine, I feel like this is going to be a fusion core because the later tech lab means usually means that, you know, because Battlecruiser takes some time, the tech lab doesn't really get utilized if you're going for Banshee, or not going for Banshee, you're going for Battlecruiser. So you can kind of delay the tech lab. But with Banshees, you want to get that tech lab as soon as possible, because once you finish the starport, you want to immediately switch off with the barracks so that the tech lab can immediately start producing the Banshees and or researching cloak. But interesting enough, it looks like he's opting for a Liberator opening here. So he is going to go ahead and try to Liberator up while harassing with these Hellions. Now, this map here, especially on the natural, is a really great place for a Liberator to siege up. But also in the dirt base as well. You can kind of hover behind these this dead space behind, maybe even on top of this little cliff area, and hide your Banshee. Or not hide your Banshee, you hide your Liberator. Alright, here comes the initial Hellions. We'll have to retreat, of course, with these queens here. These queens are just parked ready to go to defend. And oh, nicely done there. Blocking off the entrance, not allowing the Hellions to go on through. And of course, we all know the Hellions tickle buildings. They tickle. And sometimes they tickle them enough to death, but Usually, they just don't have enough firepower, not enough tickle power to take it down. Meanwhile, we do see that the Liberators has sieged up, but nice reaction time. Look at that. Just so quickly moving that Spore Caller. Of course, we do see that the Overlord was allowed him to spot them in the head of, spot the Liberator ahead of time, so was able to allow him to react really soon. So not taking any damage so far. And once again, Ragnarok looks to be sitting pretty, similar to the first game where he didn't really take any economic damage. But Time, on the other hand, he went for the third base, the third command center, so we'll relatively have that up and running soon. And for the time being here, Ragnarok just getting his upgrade, getting his lair, spreading that creep tumor. He's got plenty of queens to spread those creep tumors. I would love him to start spreading here on the right side. Maybe re-creep here at the left side. But before that happens, he's gonna have to deal with this Marine Hellion push. And oh, nice snipe there. One of the, I guess, the negatives of walling off is that you can't, against range units like Marine, you can't really defend against that unless you wrap around the this side, on the upper side. So he will force Ragnarok to remake that Baneling's Nest, but at the very least, his evolution chamber was allowed him to research +1 carapace, and this will allow him to deal with this Marine attack relatively with ease. So yeah, he only lost a Baneling's Nest, not too bad actually. The only thing is that his centrifugal hooks upgrade will be a bit tad late, which means he's gonna have to rely on spreading that creep to make sure that his Banelings can walk there a little bit faster. And here we go. Two tanks on the back. He's trying to buy some time, but I think, yeah, with the hatchery going down, he's gonna have to go in. And oh, nice target firing by the tanks on those Banelings. And the Queens trying to help defend in the front line, but a lot of them has no energy left. That is the last transfused energy for the Queens. If Ragnarok does not commit here, he's probably going to lose his hatchery. And look at that, he's going to go ahead and try to clean this up, even if it means attacking off of creep. But it's really important for him to save this base. He does not want to go down to 3 bases against the 3 bases of the Terran. But man, centrifugal hook is so close to being done. And oh, nice snipe there by Time. What a great timing attack here by Time before centrifugal hooks is finished. And now Baneling speed is done, but it is too late. Ragnarok trying to make Mutalisks as well as Banelings. Usually the worst time to make Mutalisks is when you're getting attacked, right? You want to make Mutalisks at a time where you're either ahead or the Terran is being very passive, not attacking. Unfortunately for Time, or unfortunately for Ragnarok, Time was going for the push at the same time he was making the Mutalisks. Now, nice snipe there on those tanks. So just a few Marines left over, but the damage has been done. Time is now pretty much on equal basis as the Zerg, and there's really not a lot of Mutalisks on the map, right? I think there's let's see, how many units here? 8 Mutalisks. That is not scary flock of Mutalisks. So Time is going to go ahead and feel comfortable to do a secondary attack. Now this time around, Ragnarok will have +2/2, but the question is, does he have enough army to make use of that +2/2? Right now, Time is enjoying an 80 army supply versus the 64 of Ragnarok, and that is in Ling, Banelings, and Mutalisks. If you have Lings, Baneling, and Mutalisks, the idea is that you have more army supply than your opponent, If you had like maybe Ultralisk in your army and you're a little bit below in the army supply, it's still okay. But with the army composition that Ragnarok has, you're gonna have to rely on some really great Baneling connections in order to defend against this. And with some nice kiting there, with nice spreading by time, we'll be able to probably overwhelm Ragnarok. More units streaming across the map for the Blue Terran. This fort base is going to go down, and I think time has done it. Ragnarok trying desperately to hold, but just too much on the ground, and time will advance through with a 2-1 victory over Ragnarok. Unfortunately for Ragnarok, his time has come to an end. He had a nice showing, put up some nice games, but unfortunately, his time will end his road. And yeah, looks like we have a Solar versus Time match series coming up here. Someone asked who won, Zest or Solar. Zest won, and he advanced. So yeah, he advanced to the next group stage as the first place winner of Group D. So congrats to him. And we're about to see who will come out second place here in our upcoming series. But before we get into our upcoming series, let's go ahead and take a look at one of our sponsors, G Fuel. They're the official energy drink of esports. And in order to see what G Fuel is all about, let's take a look at this short clip as we head into our next series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Let me go ahead and get this set up. All right, there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this announcement from our sponsor, G Fuel. You know G Fuel as the official drink of esports, and right now they're inviting you to take a trip down flavor memory lane with their new G Fuel bubblegum. It's their newest, mind-blowing concoction made with zero sugar and packed with antioxidants and vitamins. Be transported back in time with this classic taste of childhood while getting the energy and focus you've come to expect from G Fuel products. Check out their sponsor quests on our event page for more info on how to get your hands on G Fuel's nostalgic take on a time-tested favorite. Now back to the games.
All right, thank you, G Fuel, for being such an amazing supporter of Alpha X, but also esports in general. Always great to have such great sponsors and supporters of these esports community teams. By the way, guys, just a reminder, there is a Matcherino page for this event. Now, all the coupon codes has been used up, so don't have any coupon codes to use anymore, but there are additional sponsor quests that you can add additional funds to the overall prize pool, as well as a survey if you're in the North American region. It's like a short little survey. I think it'll take like few minutes, like 5 minutes or 2 minutes to complete. That will also add to the prize pool. But if you guys want to get the replay packs from this entire tournament, you can also do so through Matcherino. Just buy the replay pack and it is yours. You can study all the games and watch all the games. Definitely a great value there. And it's not replays from just like any players. It's from like really high tier players, Koreans, non-Koreans. Just a really great option for you to buy and as well as support the tournament and the players. All right, so let's talk about this upcoming series, guys. It's going to be Solar versus Time. Now, Solar versus Time was our first series of the day. And in that game, or in that series, Solar won 2-0. So Solar just looking really dominant against Time. This time around, let's see if it's going to be the same deja vu, or if Time can put up a better fight. I think Time has, of course, definitely gotten his fair share of TVZs today. First playing against Time in the first series, but also playing against Ragnarok in this last series. So he is definitely warmed up for his TVZs. Now, of course, Solar though, he's been playing pretty well. Lost to Zest, but had a very convincing and dominating performance against Time. We'll see if he can repeat that. Guys, do you guys have any predictions? Just let us know, let me know in the Twitch chat who you got winning this, who you got coming out of this group in second place. I mean, both players are definitely capable of pulling off the victory. Of course, Solar, I think from that first series, will probably be favored once again. But Time, he pulled out a victory against Ragnarok, who has been playing really well as well. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But oh, thank you for the follow, Wild Terran King. Actually, we got a couple of follows here in the past few minutes. But yeah, thank you everybody for following this channel, following our channel, as well as the early sub gift that we saw. I think yeah, someone gifted 5 subs. Definitely appreciate it. Showing all the love and support for the team is definitely very happy to see that. All right, countdown has begun. We're about to start our last series of the day. Mate Mazzola saying, I mean, didn't Solar beat Maru in GSL recently? I would say he's playing really well as well versus Terran. Yeah, Solar has been, I mean, I think I would say that a lot of his, even in the past history, a lot of his memorable games has been against Terran as well. Oh wow, thank you for the sub, Don Compita. Hopefully I did not butcher your name, but appreciate the sub. Hopefully you enjoy the lovely emotes and also the ad-free viewing. But anyhow, let's go ahead and introduce these players, our lovely players. Here, spawning at the red, or spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, it is the red Terran player representing Team Kaizi Gaming. It is Time. Here, spawning at the, oh, okay, Don Campita is from Chile. Okay, so speaks Spanish. Okay, I've taken a couple of years of Spanish, but foreign language is not my best subject. But I do know gracias, mi amigo. Hopefully, you understand that. Here, spawning at the bottom right corner of the map is the blue Zerg player from Kaizi Gaming. It is Solar. So yeah, basically, hopefully I didn't completely butcher your name. My Spanish, I know basic Spanish. I took 2 years in junior high school, and then maybe like 3 or 4 years of Spanish in high school. Oh no, actually no, I took. I'm trying to remember, it's so long ago. I remember I took 1 year of Spanish in college, because I had to, I think, for a foreign language or something like that. But anyhow, I took a couple years of Spanish, and it's still horrible. Like, I forgot most of them. Foreign language just not my subject in school. In school, there's just sometimes you just have that one subject you're just not good at, despite how many time and effort you put into studying. Something in your brain just not connects with it or something. I don't know. But I'm glad to see that some of our viewers here do speak Spanish. Reality, one of our lovely members, showing and flexing his Spanish skills. All right, looks like want food? What food? Fish cake? What? What's this? Okay, let me go back. What's this? Oh wait, they're just going crazy on the chat. Resumed. Okay, there we go. All right, food come. Okay, Solar had food coming, so he had to pause and probably answer the door. He said it's beef rice. Oh wow, Solar ordering beef rice. That sounds quite tasty right now, and I am getting hungry. I'm definitely gonna get myself something to eat after this cast. But yeah, beef rice sounds pretty awesome right now. I'm not gonna lie, Korea has some really nice looking food, but also has some really bad looking food, like aesthetically. Like, I'm sure it tastes good, but some of their food it does not look aesthetically pleasing. But then there are some that just looks aesthetically really good. Now you compare that to like Japanese food, which I feel like Japanese food overall generally looks really good. If you guys watch anime or see anime, you see like even the anime drawing of their food looks absolutely delicious. I don't know if you guys watch Naruto or some anime, like their ramen or their anime food drawings are just like, it's just so good. Makes me want to eat them, but yeah. Oh snap, I gotta focus on this game. Sorry. Here we go. What is happening here? We got once again going for that 1-1-1 build here from Time. Now we're playing on Golden Wall, and it will be interesting to see if Solar decides to take this third base, or maybe even this third base. There's so many options. Now of course this one has the backdoor minerals that you have to mine first, but it looks like Solar is going to go ahead and play it safe and take the vertical one, the 3 o'clock one. And I actually agree with this because the gold base is pretty vulnerable against the Terran, and then also this one you have to wait to mine the minerals. So I think the best, safest option is this 3 o'clock base here. In the meantime, we do see that this Liberator going ham on this Overlord. He will, of course, morph that into an Overseer. Now, Liberator does not have enough damage to kill the Overlord before it morphs into an Overseer, so nice little save there by Solar. Will not only save the Overlord, but also allow him to scout what is up, see what is Time going for. He knows that there are no tech lab and on that starport. Knows he does not have to worry about Banshees or battle cruisers or anything of that sort. He does see the reactor, so he can anticipate maybe a marine drop of some sort, maybe even some well, I guess. Oh, is there enough oh wow, I did not even catch this. There was a Hellion drop here, or was there a Hellion drop? But anyhow, Hellion into the main base. Liberator sieging up at the natural. Sorry guys, I was distracted for a second here. Did catch the tail end of that harass though, so did not completely butcher my job as the caster. Alright, let me go ahead and just focus on the game, do a better job at observing here. It would be so much easier with a co-caster, by the way, but unfortunately my co-casters did not show up. No excuse, but I'll try to do better for you guys. Oh no, someone said frozen pizza in the Twitch chat. Now I'm really hungry right now. I actually have some pizza bagels. I might actually get that, eat that afterwards. But anyhow, so far, let's see, how many drones were killed thus far? 18 workers, wow. Wow. That was more than I anticipated here. He's not doing quite well in terms of the economy, but you know what? At least did quite a good job in terms of drawing back up while investing the gas into these meal lists. But look at that, time already prepared for this. Got the turrets up, got the marine in place, and there's just really not a lot of openings here for these meal lists to get damage done. Might actually get a SCV or two here, but at this stage of the game, not significant damage. Looks like Solar is just trying to keep time back with these mutalisks. But you would imagine that once combat shield and +1 is done, that time is gonna go ahead and push out here. But you know what? At the same time, Solar has been doing quite a nice job. I gotta say, even in the first series against Time, Solar did really great job in terms of creep spread, and he's once again. Oh no! Oh man, what a bad move command there. Oh no, losing a couple of mutalisks, dropping his meter count down to, let's see here, 5 mutalisks. Oh no. I mean, considering he lost 18 drones in the early game, he does not want to lose any more mutalisks. +1-1 has complete here for Time. Banelings get a nice little connection here on the front patch of Marines, but there's just so many Marines left over. All the mutalisks gets taken out. Solar doesn't even want to try, and he knows it. Time takes a convincing game 1. And yep, GG. All right, Time already doing better compared to the first go around where Solar beat him 2-0. This time around, if he is to at least get defeated, it will be a 2-1 instead. So Time with a Super Saiyan upgrade or something, he just went Super Saiyan mode and just beat Solar there. I think it had a lot to do with, of course, the initial drone kills, which I semi missed. I apologize once again. I will definitely pay attention to this time. But yeah, we did see the Hellions run into the main base as well as the Liberator siege up in the natural. And now I think the Liberator in the natural didn't get quite a large amount of drones, but it did, of course, force the drones off and delayed some mining time. So even furthering the economic damage there. But yeah, if Time can get some nice drone kills in the early game, I think his micro can carry him through and through towards the mid to late game. All right, here we go. What could be potentially our last game of today. Here, spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, is the red Terran player looking to close out the series and advance to group stage number 2 and get out of this group. Can he do it? It is Time. And spawning here at the top right is the blue Zerg player, looking to keep his hopes alive and push it to an ace match, a third decisive game. Can he do it? It is Solar. Alright, so it's the calm before the storm. Nobody pulling off any crazy plays thus far, but this is going to build up. Now, this is of course Everdream. Everdream, compared to last map of Golden Wall, also has 3 potential dirts. There's a dirt here, there's a dirt here, and then of course there's a dirt here, which with a rich Vespene Geyser. Now, you don't often see Zerg goes for that rich Vespene Geyser base, only because it's a bit closer to the opponent's base, the opponent's side of the map. So unless you're doing an aggressive push, you don't want to take that base, because that means that the Terran can reach your third hatchery a lot quicker. A big huge siege up with Marines behind it can be quite scary. So unless the Zerg is looking to go aggressive on his own, he's probably gonna choose to go for the other 3 bases, or the other third bases. From what I can tell, looks like Solar has yet to show any signs of aggression. He's pulled the boys off of gas, except one, in order to research link speed as well as get the dirt. Nice little hide there by with the drone to get the early dirt without being denied by the Reaper. So sometimes you see, if the Zerg player does not send his drone early on, the Reaper can pretty much park between the natural and the dirt and deny the hatchery from going down. Oh, actually, interesting decision there by Time. I don't know if that's quite a questionable play, committing with the Reaper to try to focus fire on that creep tumor. Unfortunately, does lose the Reaper, which means that this frees Solar to pretty much creep without any disturbance until the Hellions come out. It's going to allow Solar to not have to worry about that. And we already know that Solar has demonstrated his superior creep spreading from the first series as well as the last game. Like, even though Solar did lose that game, his creep spread was pretty solid and decent. So without any way for Time to harass the creep tumors, look for Solar to be spreading those spreading them like wildfire. Appreciate the follow. Not Knuckle had a decent amount of followers today. Nice. Alright, so we do see that Solar did go for the Overlord speed. Now, why did Solar go for the Overlord speed, you might be asking? Well, as you can see, the main base is quite large. So the potential of Overlord scouting the Terran's main base is quite low with slow Overlord. So most likely you will see Zergs going for the Overlord speed on this map, because that allows better chance for the Zerg to scout to see what the Terran is going up for, what kind of tech he's delving into, to anticipate what kind of attack he can anticipate, whether he can decide to drone up or whether he has to make some units really soon. But here we go. Looks like the medevac, the double medevac Marine push has commenced. There are 5 queens here, but all of them have no energy left after that last transfuse. Solar's gonna have to basically rely on these Lings and these 5 queens to defend. Now 24 Lings are on the way, Balingness as well, but Balingness is about 75% done. It won't be enough in time to morph in the Banelings yet. So far though, it looks like Solar has defended this pretty well thus far. Alright, can he get this around? Now he is off of creep, but with the ling speed and with this amount of lings, he does get the nice quick surround and will force time back once again. But time, that was not his main army. He's actually had another wave of army. Gonna go ahead and join up with these Marines, these group of Marines. Now just imagine these Marines are like the 300 Spartans, but they're just gonna be joined by another 350 Spartans. Alright, time's gonna go ahead and siege up, but these lings get on top. Oh no! A lot of these lings actually connect with the tank behind the Vespene Geyser. Oh no, that was so inefficient there by Solar. And now time is gonna go ahead and try to press forward with these Marines. There's no Banes yet. Centrifugal hook is way off, so time can just go ahead and park here behind this mineral, or this I guess this, yeah, this Vespene Geyser. Snipe away at the assimilator. More Terran army joining up into this fight. Can Solar hold off in time? Looks like he's gonna actually abandon this base. Evacuate all the drones. He does not feel comfortable, quite comfortable, in saving it and holding on to this base, so he's gonna go ahead and try to make use of his other base here at the 4th. But meanwhile, there is a counterattack here coming out of Solar. Unfortunately for him, all these depots are lifted up and will not be able to do any damage. And now time can do the slow push. He's got additional tanks joining up, which means that he can slowly inch closer and closer to this third base hatchery. And now Solar, man, I mean, the good thing is that he did have Bane speed finished up, so that should help him out really well in the engagement. But he's desperately trying to get some counterattack damage done, and that has been really a great call these I guess basically today, because I've seen Solar do a couple of link counterattacks that has been pretty profitable. Unfortunately for him, this time around, time hasn't really had a lot of SCVs parked in that third base. But here we go. Looks like a surround, a nice little flank. Will be able to clean up the ground force and force time to lift off. But the damage has been done. The third base has been taken out. Solar is going to be forced to once again remake that third base, but it's going to be quite some time. So I mean, I expect his as you can see, all Solar, but with that third base being taken down, now it has shifted to time's advantage. And time is not letting up on this harass. While he's distracting Solar on here with his Marines, he's going to go ahead and siege up with these Liberators. Will he be able to see them on time? Yep, looks like he reacts just in time. Oh, we do see a little bit of a lag here by Enki. Oh no. Hopefully it's not too bad. But nice siege up here by time. We'll force the drones off of the minerals, but these mutalisks should clean them up relatively soon. As soon as this little timer, or at least until Enki comes back here. Hopefully he does not get disconnected. Enki, of course, is one of our Spanish casters, so I mean, considering that might potentially be the last game, it'll be so unfortunate for him to be disconnected and leave out. But it looks like with the timer closing down in 10 seconds, it might be, I mean, it just might happen. And another raid here, another warrior raid. Thank you. 36 out of 40, so 4 more of you guys turning into warriors. Anyhow, Enki unfortunately does leaves the game, but that means we are commencing with our game number 2. Now, this is pretty much Time's games to win. He's up 1-0 in this series. He's got the army advantage here. If he can string another big major attack, win a 1 or 2 more engagements, I think he should be able to close out. But with Solar, with his Ling Banelings, I mean, one huge Baneling connection that might be able to change the momentum. But it looks like we have a little bit of a ring around the rosy as time maneuvers here at the top side. The army of Solar is quite out of position here as he is trying to get some damage done with these mules, but Solar just really can't afford to lose another base. He's going to go ahead and immediately evacuate as he just does not have quite the amount of Lings and Banelings. Although I think he might have. I mean, although I guess looking at the army supply, it's probably nothing Solar would have been able to do in terms of cleaning up that attack. But look at this, Time smartly just retreating after sniping out the hatchery. He knows that he's keeping the Zerg's economy in check. And now with the +2/2 against the +2/1 of the Zerg round, this might potentially be the last engagement here. This is it, guys. If Solar does not hold on to this, he cannot lose. He cannot afford to lose any more bases, really. Oh man, look at the spread here by the Terran. Solar trying to morph in additional Banelings, but all the Lings has been evaporated, and Time with 100, pretty much double the amount of army supply of the Zerg, is gonna go ahead and march forward and probably take out this rich Vespene Geyser base. There's really nothing Solar can do. He only has, let's see here, the unit count is only 12 meters and 4 Banelings, and this is quite sad. And I think, yes, Solar knows it. Time will get his revenge for the first time around and will win this series 2-0. He will be our final player to advance to the round of 8. Congratulations. Unfortunately for Solar, this will be the end of the road. But anyhow, GG once again. Congratulations to Zest as well as Time for making it out of the group and securing a minimum of at least $50 prize pool. So let's go ahead and get back into our bracket here. Let me go ahead and refresh here just in case the Wikipedia page was updated. All right, so of course we have Time and Zest joining up with Armani and Parting, Innovation and Rogue, Cure and SOS. We have ourselves a really nice ratio distribution of players, and I cannot wait for Group Stage 2. I think it's going to be a really great, solid group. Both groups, actually. But let's see here. Wild Terran King saying, but Zerg will win the finals. That's a given. maybe we'll see. I mean, it's definitely going to be some strong Zergs vying for that finals and potentially winning. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyhow, guys, that pretty much does it for Group D. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the games. Thank you for all the subscriptions and follows and enduring me and casting and observing these lovely games. But anyhow, hope you guys have an amazing, fantastic day, rest of your day. Remember, if you want to get notified, just drop us this Twitch channel a follow, and we definitely appreciate all the support. All right, let's go ahead and see who to raid. All right, Let's see who is streaming right now. All right, we're gonna raid Nice here. Of course, Nice is one of our players. So let's go ahead and give our fellow member a boost here. All right, so if you guys want to enjoy a nice stream, pun intended, we're gonna go ahead and rate him, and hope you guys enjoy his play. All right, this is until next time, guys. This is your friendly neighborhood Castor Dog signing out.